Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? So my bosses, they offered me a snake, and they told me that if I agreed to sleep with their ritual snake, then they can help me with anything that I want. I really do not know where to begin, but that is my story. Currently, I am not working. I'm just surviving on some piece jobs, and I am staying with my friend. But if you know anyone who can assist me, brother, please help me. I'll try by all means to tell you everything. And this is the story of how I am right now and what happened for me to be where I am right now. I am really afraid and I don't know what to do. But what keeps me going is the fact that as an orphan, if I die, then it means that my kids are going to suffer. That is why I have been telling myself that I am a single mother. I have to be strong for my own kids. So I grew up in Zim at an orphanage in a small town just outside of Harare. I was abandoned as a baby. No one even told me why. They just found me. They said it was in the afternoon. My parents just dropped me off at the gate and then they ran away. So there is no history as to who am I exactly. And I never even bothered to ask. I only asked once, and when I was told that painful story, I did not want to hear the story ever again. So I have no family, just the people at the orphanage who took care of me. They were not bad people. They did what they did, but they could not give me the type of a family that I wanted in terms of sometimes because of the poverty in our country. We could even go to bed hungry, not being able to do anything, but it was really tough. When I turned 18, I left the orphanage. There were no opportunities back home. There were no real jobs. So like many others, I left my country in search of a better life. But this was way after I had given birth to my kids, because I went into marriage thinking that I was going to find a man who will become my relative. But men, they take advantage of your situation. So that is what happened, and I ended up being in South Africa, even if it meant it was going to be the hardest work to work on a farm or whatever. I did not care. All that I wanted to do was to survive. Ending up here in South Africa, working as a domestic worker, no papers, no nothing for this other man and his family. They stay in Gauteng. At first, things were not so bad. I would clean, cook, and I would take care of their house here in Venda whilst they are there at work. I will do everything that they would ask from me. Sometimes they would call me in the middle of the night and then they will ask me if I have any eggs, and I'll tell them that yes, I have some eggs, and then they will say take 6 of those eggs and go and leave them outside, and tomorrow you can go and buy the eggs and replace them. They used to do this and I would do everything. So currently he has promised me that if I am able to assist them one more time as I have been assisting them, he is going to help me to get an ID one day. And his wife as well has told me that if I assist them, there is no way that they will leave me like that. They are going to bless me, as they are telling me that there are going to be blessings that are going to come your way. All that you have to do is to make sure that you assist us only one time. This is what they told me when they were still there in Gauteng before they had came to Venda. So they came and they visited me, because at the place where I am staying, it is a house that used to belong to the woman's grandmother. So whenever they are back in Venda, they stay at the place where I was staying. It was in early March when they came, and then they told me that there were things that they wanted us to discuss. And when we started talking, I knew that there was something that they wanted to tell me, but they were afraid. And then they told me everything. They told me that the business that they are doing of doing government tenders, it is very difficult to get a tender. So they went to Mozambique. When they went to Mozambique they were given a snake in form of a python, and this is the snake that assists them to win tenders for their company. But this snake, it has been giving them a lot of problems, such that they even ran away from their house which they own, and now they are staying in the location, yet they are millionaires. They said that this snake, it is angry and it is making them very poor. It is always hungry, and yet it is their source of income, and they were told that since it is their source of wealth, they should never make it go hungry. They should always provide for it. At first I thought that maybe it was just a story. Who can believe that a snake can do such a thing? But then they began to talk about things that were really scary. They said that I was supposed to sleep with this snake, for they had tried to feed this snake with blood. They even went and they got human blood from a friend who is a doctor. That blood that is donated to the blood bank, that is the blood that they were given, and then they gave it to the snake, but the snake still complained and said that it was hungry. They went to another Sangoma, for their traditional healer in Mozambique has since passed away, so they went to a traditional healer who told them that this snake, it is not hungry for food, but it is hungry for a woman, and it needs a woman. You need to find a wife for your snake. So the wife said, if you help us, we will get you what you want. You will be able to live here legally. No more fear of being deported. We can get you a South African ID. So that is what this family has promised me. Currently, I am staying with a friend of mine here in Chakuma, but the place where I used to work and stay, it was in a village called Chuvurani. That was where I was working and staying for this family. They were paying me, even though they would come maybe once a year, but they came to this place in March, and that is when they told me that they want me to sleep with this snake. And to tell you the truth, without an ID, you are not a person at all. The country does not even recognize you when you do not have papers. Just like the woman said, you want a woman, don't you? You want to have a good life. And I said, yes, but if you want, they told me I have to sleep with their snake. I have to become a wife to the snake. Like this family, those are the only people that I can call a family that I have here in South Africa. They've been treating me really nicely each and every month, and even the woman, she knows how to send money to my kids back home in Zim. I am afraid for my kids. Sometimes I feel like leaving and going back to Zim, but I know that I cannot, because back home, what else? What kind of a business can I do that can help me? So this is the only sacrifice, she said, that I have to do to become the wife, not for a very long time, and then they can assist me to get some papers, and then I can get a proper job. They said, we can even bring you to Gauteng. Once our business is back in shape, we can even get you a house in Joburg, and you can look for a job wherever you want, and we'll be giving you your allowances so that you will never go broke. But assist us first by sleeping and agreeing to become a wife to this snake. I asked them, if I sleep with the snake, then after that, what if I would want to get married to a man one day? They could not provide for me an answer, and the woman just dropped her call. So I know that they are angry with me, and I really need advice. If there are people that wants to help me, please help me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. She wants advice. She says, should I agree to become a wife to this snake, so that these people, as wealthy as they are, even now they are struggling financially, but they are saying that the reason is because their snake, it is angry, it wants to sleep with a woman. Once I sleep with their snake, then all the money that they are being owed by several companies, they are going to get paid, and then they can even buy a house for me, and I can go and stay with my kids there in Gauteng. Should I do this sacrifice? So let us try to assist here in the comment section.